Welcome to Practice Admin's online training for Billing Manager Patient Demographics. If at the completion of this training you have additional questions, please open a ticket with the support team by emailing support@practiceadmin.com. Moving on, in our training, we're now going to go to the Billing Manager and begin our Patient Demographics entry. So once you're logged into the system, click on the Billing tab on your left-hand side, select Billing in the light gray column, and click your Launch Billing button. And this is going to load the Billing Manager, and that's where all of the patient demographics information is housed. Okay. So we're just going to go directly to the Claim General tab, and this is where we can use the binoculars to search for patients that we've already added in for appointments. They would already be listed in here. If this is a brand new patient and you are not using the scheduler or they had not yet been added for an appointment, then you can click on the plus button to add a new patient. In this case, we'll go ahead and work with a patient that was entered into the scheduler. We type in their last name and click Enter. And now we select which patient we prefer to work with. Once you've located them in the patient search and click OK, to get to their detailed patient demographics page, we're going to click on the ... button. It'll take just a moment. And now you have your main patient demographics page. So now we want to go through and starting with the Patient Info tab, fill in all the information from their demographics, from their patient registration form. Okay, so beginning with their Social Security number, referral source. It's currently blank for your new practice. However, if you would like to track the marketing that's done in your office, you could supply us with a list of all the options you would like to see in that referral source drop-down menu. You can just open up a ticket by emailing that list to support@practiceadmin.com, and we'll work on getting that completed for you. Okay, so now we're moving down to the first name, last name field. Certainly you can add in middle name, suffix, and an alias or nickname. Next is going to be your address. And you want to spell everything out. Try not to use any odd characters or symbols. Okay. Next would be our primary care provider and referring provider fields. In another training, I'll show you how to add in to these and build up these databases so that those would be options to select from this drop-down menu. All right, and the system's going to automatically assign the patient account number either when you made the appointment or as you're adding in the new patient details. Next, we have marital status. Then we have the gender. Verify that's correct. There is an additional field here labeled as chart. So if you have another internal number that you all are using in the office, you can certainly add that into this chart field. And that can be used as a search in the patient lookup. Your employment status. Employer can be added here. So you'll notice in our system anytime you want to add something new, you're clicking on the plus button. And then you're going to, if you've already built up a database here of employers, this would have the list available. If not, you're going to click on the plus to add in the company information. And certainly, adding in the employer would benefit you if this is the patient that's going to have work comp claims. Certainly it's not a required field and is completely optional. All right, and once you've added in the employer details, you save. Then you can X out by a little red X. And so now we have that company in the drop-down menu to select. You could make this the default employer and provide a beginning and ending date. Then once you click Save, it's going to move that employer down into this gray box down below. When we X out, we can see that the employer is now listed on the Patient Info tab. At the very bottom, we have a guarantor. It defaults to self. However, if this was a minor, you could change it to other, and it lights up the guarantor box to the right. And again, if we already had guarantors listed in here, if this was brothers and sisters, then you could certainly select that guarantor from the drop-down menu. Anytime we're adding something new, we're clicking on the plus button, adding in the details of that parent, and then clicking the Save button. Okay. At this time, we'll go ahead and leave this as self so that the patient is the guarantor. We can go ahead and put in their phone number. Date of birth is very important. Make sure that that field is either filled in. It would have to be filled in to be able to add in a new patient. And then it's also very important that you check the signature on file, and then the date that's listed to the right of signature on file will be the same as any dates of service for the patient or prior to. Now the 4 fields that are required to add a new patient would be the first name, the last name, the date of birth, and the gender. So as long as you have the minimum of those 4 fields, you can always add a new patient. But of course, more information is always better. Once you've completed filling in your Patient Info tab, the next step is to click the Save button in the top left corner. It's very important that you click Save before moving on, or else you will lose all of the information that you've added in. Once the save is completed, your Save button will be grayed out, and only if you make changes to this screen will that Save button light back up. All right, so that concludes the Patient Info tab of the Practice Patient Demographics entry. If you have any further questions on this screen, please feel free to open up a ticket by emailing support@practiceadmin.com. Thank you.